welcome you to an Awqaf dinner. Before we proceed, just to say, we have some distinguished guests here with us. We have Professor Khadija Malloy, who is from the Vaal University of Technology, who's also a trustee of the Awqaf Foundation. Professor Malloy. We have with us Dr. Al-Goni, who is a professional doctor who works in the area, and he's very familiar with what's happening tonight. He's also an Awqaf trustee of the Awqaf management, Dr. Al-Goni. And we have our distinguished guest, Dr. Kamal Aydin from Turkey. Pleasure and my honor to invite the present CEO of the Cape region, the young man, Mikhail Collier, under whose leadership we're working now, to come forward to give us an idea of what Awqaf has been doing in 2014 and 15. Mikhail Collier.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah, khatam al-nabiyyin wa kana Allah bi kulli shayin alima. Assalamu alaikum, shukran for taking your time out to come here this evening. Celebrating 15 years of sustainable community development, the National Awqaf Foundation of South Africa, or Awqaf South Africa, as a charitable endowment fund, we've not only repopularized the concept of Waqf in South Africa and also in other parts of the world, but we've used the investments of the Waqf Fund in a variety of community development projects and programs which promote, in particular, integrated community development, self-reliance, and social justice. Over the years, our key focus areas have been centered on developing integrated and holistic approaches to the challenges that face not only the Muslim community, but also the South African society in general. And I think that as South Africans, we are in a critical period in our transition from apartheid to democracy. And that transition brought to many people, it brought a sense of euphoria, of freedom, of liberation, and also an expectation that all the challenges that face our society would be handled by government. And what that brought about was also a decline in civil society participation. And I think that we as a community of South Africa, we are weaker as a result of that period that in our transition that we went to. And particularly the history of Muslims in South Africa, we've got a legacy of freedom fighters, political exiles, slaves, indentured laborers, who, along with our compatriots of color, fought against very repressive colonial regimes and also contributed to the liberation struggle in this particular country. However, within this democratic dispensation, our contribution to the liberation of this country it's being eroded. And therefore we need to look at our continued relevance within the current societal and political context and within the immediate future of Muslims in South Africa. We therefore need to urgently identify strategies that would make us an indispensable part of the growth and development of South Africa. And the question therefore arises, what are we as a Muslim community doing in order to improve and better South Africa? And Awqaf South Africa over the few years have successfully undertaken projects that impact directly on a local community-based level, as well as programs that are geared towards showcasing the achievements and contributions of Muslims to South Africa. In particular, the bicentennial commemoration of the unbanning of Islam in 2004, we ran the first Islamic symposium on Islamic civilization in Southern Africa, the first Muslim convention on sustainable development, the other projects like the International Waqf Conference that we had. Those were all projects that showcased the importance and relevance of Muslims to the landscape of South Africa. Added to this, the numerous accolades that we as an organization over the past 15 years have received. In particular, about a month and a half ago, we received an award from the Amir of Dubai, where we won the International Global Islamic Finance Award in the category of Awqaf and Waqf development. And we competed against all the various Awqaf institutions across the world. government departments, where I think Dr. Algoni just visited Qatar and Kuwait, where they are in the billions of dollars, and also non-government style waqafs. And we have been selected. We were first finalists in 2013, and now in 2015, we actually won the award. And I think that speaks to the dedication, the commitment of our trustees, of our donors, of our volunteers, of our supporters of Waqaf. So, Awqaf South Africa, what do we see ourselves? We see ourselves as key role players as part of the ongoing process of community development in South Africa. And part of that, we look at and we ask ourselves, what is our relevance? What is our contribution? And amongst the other projects that, as Raghib has mentioned, there's a couple of million that we do spend each year on projects. But as part of our strategic objectives as an organization, where do we see ourselves going in 2015 and beyond? And I think that it is sufficient for us to say that we've identified 4 key categories. And that would be health and strategic leadership development. The second is education. The third is science, maths and technology. And the fourth is sustainable development and renewable energy. And therefore, within 2015, our projection of projects that we'd like to see amongst our flagship projects, as we've come here this evening, we've gathered this evening, is the launch of the Daru Shifa, which is not only about frail care and healthcare, but inshallah we envisage that in the next few years we will see various forms of hospitals and health clinics developing within our community. We're particularly going to be focusing on education and leadership development, and in that we will partner with very strategic role players within our community, both the Muslim community and the non-Muslim community. In 2015, at the end of the year, there will be an Islamic civilization on Southern Africa, the second one that will be taking place in Durban. We've got a particular team that is dedicated to the development of a township forum, where we will see and we will, with other partner organizations, look at integrating, not just giving a handout to our brothers and sisters in the township, but actually structuring a program where we do a needs assessment and analysis with various role players and see how we can integrate the township community with the general Muslim community, as we have been historically divided according to apartheid lines. And in order to achieve all of this, Raghib said that we've got 30 million. But we have set ourselves a target that by the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, that inshallah, our minimum goal is to achieve 100 million in Waqaf funds, inshallah. And for that, as we've received the award of the Global Islamic Finance, and it is all of your contributions that has assisted us in getting there, we need you to get us to that 100 million, inshallah. So without any further ado, we need your support, we need your mentoring, we need your help, we need your dedication, and we need not only the wives to allow the husbands to come out to work, but the wives also to come and work with us, inshallah. So without any further ado, I think that's just a brief synopsis of what we're wanting to achieve in 2015, 2016. And one of the flagship projects is the Daru Shifa. Our coordinator for the Daru Shifa would be Dr. Algoni, very humble person. Dr. Sali met him only recently, so I will take the opportunity to introduce him. Dr. Algoni is he's actually a prince of Sudan, right? He's one of the tribal leaders in Sudan. He's a medical doctor by profession, as well as he's gone and studied additional health policy issues. He is a specialist in health systems. He's worked all over Africa. He's worked for the World Health Organization, and he was the key director for the strategy of HIV/AIDS management throughout Africa. So Dr. Algoni comes with a wealth of experience, and we are much richer and wealthier for having Dr. Algoni with us. Shukran, Dr. Sali.
You see, when we looked at the services that we needed to support, we found that in our community, especially the Muslim community in South Africa, we looked at the elderly. And we found that many of the elderly are not happy. We are looking now at their happiness. They are not happy. Even at home, they are not happy. Why? Because life became very complex and their kids go to work, all of them. And they leave them at home. There is nothing, no one to talk to, no one of your age to communicate with. So loneliness is one problem, and it's a fact of life. This is one. The second one, we found that even if they go to the old age homes of today, the old age homes of today, they give you the service, but they give you the service without the spirit. I'm just giving an example of, I tell someone, if I want to give you a sheep, someone asked someone to give him, please, can you give me a sheep? So he brought him a sheep, but it was a dead sheep. So he said, but this is a dead sheep. He said, yeah, but you said you want a sheep. So we wanted, as Muslims, when we give a sheep, we give a sheep with a life. So we wanted to give the old people a service with a life. The third problem that we have noticed is that most of the old age homes don't give the Islamic ethos, the respect for the elderly, the recognition of their contribution to our life, and their status in the family. So practically, we needed to give our elderly their dignity. And we felt we need to look at this problem of frail care in a different way. So when we start looking at it, we said, okay, we have three problems. Problems of people who are healthy, but they don't find an opportunity to be happy. And the people who might be diabetic or have some problems that are manageable. And there are people who are completely bedridden that needed clinical care. So we said, let us work on something, an institution that will be a 5-star institution, quality. And we create an elderly club. So in the morning when you are going to work, both of you take your father with you. You drop him in this place. It is beautiful, it is neat, it is clean. He will find all other professionals with him. They can chat. At the end of the day, when you finish, you come and take him home. This is one service that it will provide. The second service is people who are ill, but can manage. They come during the day. We check their blood pressure. We check their sugar, diabetes. We check their other health problem, cholesterol, this. We give them advice. There is a nutritionist who tells them, eat this, don't eat this, do this exercise. We will have a small place where they exercise. We give them new healthy habits. This is the second component of the same place. And then a third component is the clinical one, where they can come for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days to get full treatment. This is our thinking. And then we met the specialist on elderly, and we wanted to move this service to. About 11 years ago or 12 years ago, I was teaching at the University of the Free State in Bloemfontein. I was teaching health management, and I met this guy who looked at me and said to me, you say you love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you don't have a beard. And he has a very long beard. And then we joked, and I said to him, what do you do? He said, you see, we are starting a small NGO that will work in Awqaf. And we wanted to strengthen the Awqaf system. And when I looked at the idea fell in my heart, because I said to myself, I don't have millions to give as Awqaf, but I have a network, I have many friends, I can go to them and get them to donate to Awqaf. And I will encourage them to tell their friends also to contribute to Awqaf, and that will be my contribution. I said, if I wanted to join you, he said, okay, when you come to Johannesburg, come and meet us. So when the next time I was at a conference, something in Johannesburg, I met the founders of the Awqaf. I think that was in 2002. And from that time I joined them, and then after a few years I became part of the management of Awqaf, and till now I am with them. Actually last week I was in Qatar. I wanted and met the Qatar Ministry of Awqaf, and we met the Qatar Red Red Crescent Society. I met another, the Qatar Foundation and another foundation.